What's going on, everybody? Mortem here, this time bringing you a look at the Hunter class in Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, which is currently in beta. So, a few things to get out of the way right away. The Hunter is actually a divine caster, which means A, they use their wisdom stat as their spellcasting ability. However, they don't have a dedicated spell list. They get a sort of combination of the druid and ranger spell list. Most of these spells revolve around like animal aspects, nature-related things, stuff like that. Moreover, for some reason, the base class has the prerequisite of not having the Rahadum Faithless, I think I'm pronouncing that right. That's like an atheism background, so I'm not exactly sure why, other than the archetype Divine Hunter, because that's the only thing that really has any sort of religious aspect to it. I'm not exactly sure why that prerequisite is there other than that archetype, to be honest. But beyond that, the base class Hunter has class skills of Athletics, Knowledge World, Persuasion, Perception, Stealth, and Knowledge Arcana. Proficiencies, we have Simple and Martial Weapons, as well as Light and Medium Armor, in addition to Shields excluding Tower Shields. Most of our hunters and its archetypes will be picking up an animal companion as well, with the exception of the urban hunter. This is the full list of companion options. Now, the base class will also pick up nature sense, which gives us a +2 bonus to lore nature checks, as well as giving us animal focus. So at first level, you will be able to grant an animal aspect to our animal companion. Now, on the animal companion, there is no time duration on that aspect. However, if that animal companion is dead, the hunter can then apply their companion's animal focus to themselves instead of the animal companion. But more importantly, perhaps, a hunter can take on the aspect of an animal as a swift action that will give you the benefits of the current animal focus that your animal companion is using. You will be able to do that a number of minutes per day equal to your level. At level 2, our base class picks up Precise Companion, which will let you choose between either Precise Shot or Outflank as a bonus feat, and you do not need to meet the prerequisites to pick them. Then, at level 3, we pick up Hunter Tactics. So the Hunter will automatically grant your teamwork feats to your animal companion, and the animal companion doesn't need to meet the prerequisites to use them. Moreover, at level 3, we also get the first of what will ultimately be 6 teamwork feats. So this will let us choose from the list of exclusively teamwork feats, as well as share them to our companion at level 3. At level 8, we pick up Second Animal Focus. This will let you use your Animal Focus ability, but select 2 animal aspects instead of just the one for you and your companion. At level 10, we pick up Raise Animal Companion as a spell-like ability. At 16th level, this will actually become Resurrection versus Raise Dead, but otherwise operates as normal. So essentially this will let us raise up our animal companion in the event that it falls during combat. At 17, we pick up One with the Wild. Our hunter, as well as their animal companion, will be respected or perhaps even feared by other animals, allowing you to make a demoralize check on all enemies in a 30-foot radius as a swift action, basically like you were using the Dazzling Display feat. And then at level 20, we pick up Master Hunter. This will give you the ability to receive the animal focus benefits an unlimited amount of times per day, so there will no longer be a time limit requirement on it. That brings us to Colluding Scoundrel. Now, I want to start off by saying that the Colluding Scoundrel will lose the animal focus ability. However, you pick up another ability in place of that called Scapegoat. For some reason, the class sheet here doesn't actually show it, but it is in-game, so I should hopefully have the footage up on screen. So as a swift action, you'll be able to redirect a foe's hostility towards another creature, creating openings for attacks. So you'll be able to do this several times per day equal to your hunter level. And basically what this will do is give a -2 penalty on attacks against any creature other than the designated scapegoat. So basically what this means is that you can designate an ally as a scapegoat and an enemy to be affected by scapegoat. And essentially, if your enemy isn't attacking the scapegoat, they will take a -2 penalty on all their attacks, as well as have a 10% spell failure chance on spells that aren't targeting the scapegoat. These bonuses, or penalties if you will, increase by -4 at 8th level and -6 at 15th level. Now, the best thing to do here, and typically what you probably will do, is designate your animal companion as the scapegoat. Now, beyond that particular ability and all it entails, at 8th level, we'll pick up Backstabber. So we'll deal 2d6 additional points of damage on attacks against a target threatened by an ally currently designated as the scapegoat. This will increase to 3d6 points of damage at 15th level. Now this is considered precision damage, however it does not stack with sneak attack damage. And then at level 20, instead of Master Hunter, we get Master Backstabber. So as a standard action, you can make a single attack against a foe that is taking the penalties of the scapegoat ability and is also adjacent to your scapegoat. And if the attack hits, the target will take damage normally and must succeed a fortitude saving throw or just flat out be killed. Now, regardless of the outcome of the savings throw, they cannot be targeted by this ability again by any colluding scoundrel for 24 hours. Now that brings us to the Divine Hunter. So the Divine Hunter archetype will lose all their teamwork feat options. However, they gain a deity selection as well as a cleric domain in the trade-off. Now, if you're interested in all of the possible cleric domains, you can check out my video on the cleric class where I go over all 30 plus of them, but there's a lot of options there. And then at level 3, they pick up Otherworldly Companion versus like Hunter Tactics or anything like that. A Divine Hunter's Companion will take on otherworldly features. If you're good, your animal companion gets the celestial template. If you're evil, they become the fiendish template. If they're neutral, you get to pick one or the other. And beyond that, the rest of the class actually proceeds as normal, which brings us to the Forester, which probably has the most going on in terms of sheer changes from the base class. So we lose the animal companion, however, we do pick up extra bonus combat feats as the trade-off, as well as several other things. We also pick up favored terrain, much like a ranger would get, so this will give us a +2 bonus to initiative checks, as well as lore nature, perception, and stealth checks while you're in the favored terrain. And then every 4 levels after this, we will actually pick up another favored terrain as well as increase the bonus. At 11th level, they will also pick up terrain expertise, which means if they are fighting on their favored terrain, any creature on it is considered a favored enemy as per the ranger class feature. They don't gain that bonus on top of something if it's already a favored enemy. So if your hunter had points in a ranger ability and has favored enemies, those two things don't stack. It's one or the other. Now, while we do lose access to our companion, we do still get the teamwork feats associated with the companion and hunter tactics. However, instead of Hunter Tactics, we get Tactician. As a standard action, we can grant the benefits of one of our teamwork feats to all allies within 30 feet who can see and hear you. And then they'll gain that bonus for a number of rounds, depending on your Forester level. They do not need to meet the prerequisites for those bonus feats. You can use this once per day at 3rd level, an additional time at 7th level, and every 5 levels after. And again, this replaces Hunter Tactics. At 4th level, they pick up Evasion. That is to say, if they succeed in making a reflex throw against an attack that normally deals half damage on that successful save, they instead take no damage, unless of course they're like paralyzed or something. At 7th level, they pick up Camouflage, which will let you use your stealth skill in your favored terrain, even if that terrain doesn't grant cover or concealment. At 10th level, they pick up Breath of Life to replace Ray's animal companion since they don't have one. It functions basically the same way, but for companions. At 11th level, they pick up Improved Evasion, whereas regular Evasion makes a successful reflex save cause you to take no damage. Improved Evasion makes sure that even a failed save will still have you take half damage. At 14th level, they gain Hide in Plain Sight, although I just want to point out, yes, there is a typo here. It says 17th level on the tooltip. However, you can clearly see that on the character sheet it's 14th level. But essentially what this does will let you use camouflage to hide in any terrain. And that brings us to the Urban Hunter. So real quick, I mentioned this a little bit earlier. The Urban Hunter does not get the full list of companion options for their animal companion. They only get to choose between a dog or a horse. But outside of that, they also lose their teamwork feats, but they gain a couple of other abilities as a trade-off. So at 5th level, they gain Animal Insight. This will allow the Urban Hunter and their companion to combine their insights to defeat deception and manipulation. So as long as you're within 30 feet of each other, you gain an insight bonus to perception checks equal to half your hunter level. They also gain a +2 insight bonus on saving throws against mind-affecting effects. Now at 6th level, they actually pick up Captor. So at 6th and then every 3 levels after, they'll select a bonus feat from a following list to be gained by both you and your animal companion. And you don't need to meet the prerequisites to pick this. Now, it doesn't actually tell us the list here, but this is basically combat maneuvers, disarm, trap, stuff like that. You should see them on the screen here. Well, it doesn't show us the list. It is actually these right here. Then at 17th level, they pick up Frightful Ferocity, and Urban Hunter and their companion can each attempt to make an Intimidate check to demoralize foes as a swift action. And that brings us to our last archetype, Wandering Marksman. So we will lose our teamwork feats, however, we replace them with some interesting animal companion abilities. So this starts at level 3 with Planned Distraction. Whenever you attack an enemy who is engaged in melee combat with your animal companion, you will get a +1 circumstance bonus to attack and damage. This increases by +2 at 12th level and to a +3 at 18th level. Then they pick up Self-Reliance at level 6. Whenever an animal companion is 10 feet or more away from the hunter, it gets a morale bonus to its armor class equal to +1 for every 4 hunter levels that you have. And then at 9th level, once per encounter, as a standard action, the Wandering Marksman can swap its animal companion and itself without provoking attacks of opportunity if they're within 30 feet of each other. Then at 15th level, they pick up Imminent Attack. As a standard action, they can shoot ammunition 3 times per day, which marks all enemies in 10 feet as prey. Attacks against those creatures, your animal companion will get a +3 morale bonus to attack and damage, and its attacks will bypass the damage reduction on cold iron, mithril, adamantine, and hardness. Now, whenever the animal companion kills one of these enemies, its attacks will also increase their critical range by 1 until the end of combat, and it will stack until combat is over. There you go, guys. There is a look at the Hunter class as well as its archetypes. A pretty fun class overall, I would say. It's got some kind of unique elements to it, and they managed to make it more than just like, a bow and arrow type thing. You can, of course, use any martial weapon with this class. And while it certainly does seem to favor like a bow and arrow type approach, you can do other stuff with it, and I thought the Divine Casting was a nice touch as well, especially given its rather unique spell list. And on a side note, I actually personally love giving Windaug Colluding Scoundrel. Actually, it seems to work very well for her. I've actually playtested that pretty extensively. Because while she starts out as a fighter, if you respec her into Colluding Scoundrel, I personally have had a lot of fun with that. There you go, guys. I certainly hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. But truly, just thank you so much for watching. I literally couldn't do this without you guys. So, may you wander in wisdom and have an amazing day.